I picked up Run Little Hero from the PlayStation Indies sale that's currently going on in March 2022, and it was only for about £1.70, but it was one of those endless runner games where you run along until you die, then you use the cash that you found in that to level up your character and then try and run further and do more things. Often these games have a goal to the end of it, but unfortunately with Run Little Hero it's just endless, and that is problem number one, but not the biggest problem for this game. You play as the little hero and you can move your character up and down, but they'll always be running forward for an endless corridor, attacking automatically. They can very quickly gain XP and level up, and whenever you level up you get to choose from one of three options that are presented to you, and they do seem to be at random. Those options might be improving your HP, your attack, your defense, your attack speed, giving you maybe a critical attack every once in a while, or a headshot, something like that. And at certain points when you level up, you can then split off into being a warrior, a mage, or an archer. And these give you slightly different attack patterns, but then also slightly different, what I would call active abilities. A lot of the upgrades are passive, but there are a couple of active ones that you can then assign to different buttons and then trigger them whenever you need to, particularly when you've got some big beefy enemies coming towards you. Dodging them is always an option too, because you have the ability to move up and down in the corridor, but essentially at some point you will die, and it's made sure that you will die because one of the game mechanics in this is that your HP is constantly being decreased over some kind of like spell. So at some point you will die, and then what will happen is that all of the coins that you've collected from all the enemies you've killed will then go towards buying upgrades in the game itself. This loop continues on and on and on and on and on, until you get to the point where you unlock treasure chests. And it's at this point the game utterly breaks. And it's broken because of the economy involved with treasure chests. It costs initially 10,000 coins to buy a treasure chest. And inside each treasure chest is three different options, or three different gifts rather. It could be coins, it could be upgrades for various like multipliers for your next run or an extra life. Or something like that, or it could be a pet which you can equip one at a time, and then they'll give you passive buffs for your abilities. So it could be like more HP, better defense, reducing the amount of reduction of HP over time so that it goes slower. All of that's available to you. But once you hit a certain coin limit and you buy a couple of these treasure chests, because they get cheaper the more that you do, invariably, you'll get loads of coins in these chests that are worth more than the price that you paid for the treasure chest. And so you end up in this endless loop where you could just keep buying treasure chest after treasure chest, opening them up, spamming the open, getting all of the stuff inside it, and you've ended up with more money than it cost to buy the treasure chest. So then you go and buy another like 50, and then you just keep going and going and going. In theory, you can just completely cheat and spam the entire game going around that circle. Keep on like holding enough so that you can buy another 50 treasure chests, but then use all of that extra money to then upgrade your abilities as you go. And it feels like the entire game economy is then broken because you aren't playing the game to see how far you can get. You're going to probably spend like half an hour just opening treasure chests mindlessly and being like, cool, where am I up to now? And so the entire game experience is broke, and I can't recommend it for that very reason. It's a shame because it looks and reminds me quite nicely of a lot of other side-scrolling brawlers. I wish that there was a little bit more activeness to the game itself, but having those extra abilities to go is kind of on par with a lot of other things that fall into this genre. But yeah, the economy is absolutely broke, so don't touch it. Written review on it from higherplayinggames.com. I'm glad I played this long enough to discover this bug and issue. I don't think it'll ever be sorted because this game's been out for over a year. So yeah, take care all. Bye-bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.